Hello, Al pals. This is Big Al. Welcome to Big Al Presents an Afternoon with Al, an impromptu chat. I usually tell you I don't know when I'm going to do these things, and I didn't decide to do it until about 15 minutes ago. So that is why I'm here. First, I would like to say hello, Daniel Heron. Soundtracks with Birdman is in the house. So far, according to the little eyeball, the only one in the house. So glad at least someone is here to listen to my rambling and hopefully maybe asks a question or two. I wanted to do one of these for a couple weeks now. Just I always wait till the timing seems right for me. Just in the mood to do it, and just it's a Friday afternoon, not doing anything else. I do want to say, of course, just self promotion as well. Pretty much this it usually is anyway. If you haven't seen my reviews for things like Black Adam or She Hulk or The Curse of Bridge Hollow, Halloween Ends, things like that, please check out Big Al Presents. Some good stuff, some not so good stuff. Really depends on how you look at it. I just wish some of them were better, and includes Black Adam. Check my review out if you really want to know what I thought about it. I do have a rewatch tomorrow night at 10, and I am going to be rewatching with Troy and Nanette the 1978 horror comedy classic, kind of. I guess you could consider it a classic, Piranha, uh, which Steven Spielberg himself considered the best of the Jaws ripoff movies. Uh, my rewatches this month have had kind of an animals attack motif, of course, starting with Grizzly a couple weeks ago, and going right back into the water with Piranha. Tarai Deos says, "Hello, Al. I hope I pronounced that right. Did I get that right? Tarai, Tarai, Daos, Deos. I hope I'm doing that correct. Let me know if I got it right, wrong, or how to actually pronounce it. I never know, but oh, okay. I said several different versions, but I'll go with Tarai. Tarai. Okay. Well, um, just have to go with that for now until I hear different. But yeah, so join me tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Going to be watching Piranha. Also, is a good time to let you know what's going to be coming out in November for my rewatches. November is a fantasy month at Big Al Presents. I'm going to be first watching Willow, which is one of my favorite fantasy films. We're going to be watching that. Let me double check the exact date here. November 5th. The reason I'm watching Willow is because the Willow series is going to be starting up at the end of November. And I think it's a good time to reintroduce myself and anybody who wants to watch to the Willow universe. Also, later that month, November 19th, going to be rewatching an absolute favorite of mine. You've heard me sing its praises. We're going to be watching 1985's Legend, starring Tom Cruise. If someone asked me what my favorite Tom Cruise film is, it is not Top Gun. It is not Risky Business. It is Legend. I love that film, adore it for the music, and that includes both versions, Tangerine Dream and Jerry Goldsmith. As to which one I'm going to be watching, I do plan on watching the Tangerine Dream version Saturday night, but I do want to watch the Goldsmith European version, possibly even the night before that Friday night, kind of as a companion piece because it changes the tone of that movie in so many ways. Uh, it's amazing what some editing and music can really do for a film. Uh, oh, you like the '80s Willow, Tarai? Yes, great film. Um, but yeah, I don't think Daniel Herron likes Tangerine Dream. That's fine. That's up to you. Daniel Herron, for those who don't know, is a huge fan of movie scores. He has a great channel, Soundtracks with Birdman. He has a show on Mondays called The Batman Show, where he and two of his friends do deep dives into different soundtracks and scores and composers. Great show if you're at all interested in soundtracks. Plus, he has a Wednesday night rewatch where he will watch a film and discuss how the score is working with that film. Sometimes it's a film known for a soundtrack. Sometimes it's just a fun film. It's a good time. So that's Wednesday nights, 8:30, 9 o'clock, depending on how his schedule is running. In fact, next week I am joining um, the Birdman, Daniel Herron, on his channel next Wednesday. We're going to be rewatching was it the 2005 version of War of the Worlds? Speaking of Tom Cruise, uh, Tom Cruise's War of the Worlds. We watched the 1953 version the other night. Had a great time watching that. One of my favorites, one of his as well. Classic sci-fi. Trying to get him into more classic sci-fi, which is kind of good. I kind of got him poking his toe into Doctor Who. Well, I don't know if that was me and Godzilla, but yeah, he likes checking out movie music, and he will listen to anything if it's good, I believe, except Tangerine Dream, it seems, which is fine. While I'm sitting here, I've got 5 people watching. Anybody with any questions, concerns, or just information they wouldn't mind me passing along, let me know in the chat. I'm watching on StreamYard chat. Not I can't I don't watch that and the YouTube at the same time. It's just easier for me to do what I need to do here. But yeah, so some great stuff coming on my channel in November. I've got my December rewatches figured out. Going to be watching Miracle on 34th Street, the original, the classic, and the 1951 version of Scrooge or Christmas Carol. It's been called both, with Alastair Sim, which to me is the best version of Scrooge ever done. And to end the year on New Year's Eve, where I probably will be lucky to have one person join me, well, but that's fine. I'm going to be enjoying the film When Harry Met Sally, which ends on New Year's Eve, and I think it's a nice film. It's a good way to end the year. But Al, don't you have plans for New Year's? Well, no, except now to do my rewatch. Uh, like you guys know, I'm kind of a semi shut in, and this is my way of getting out and talking to people, meeting, socializing. That's why I like doing it. Uh, no, I did not say Die Hard, Daniel Herron. Daniel and I are two opposing viewpoints when it comes to Die Hard. He says it's a Christmas movie. I say it is not a Christmas movie. It is simply a movie that takes place at Christmas. It does not have the nice feeling, emotional heartstrings of a Christmas movie. Sorry, just is. That's my viewpoint. I'm standing by it. But I can respect those who believe that it is a Christmas movie, no matter how delusional they may be. But that's fine. Daniel's my friend. We're cool. We have a lot of fun disagreeing. In fact, I was having a bit of a conversation on my Black Adam review about the anti-hero in Black Adam killing, and they were a little concerned. It's like, don't hate me because I disagree. And I'm like, dude. And in fact, here's the person himself, Kyle Cullen. Does not hurt to disagree. We don't have to agree on everything. We can disagree and have a fruitful discussion of opposing viewpoints. And as long as we keep it civil, it's awesome. The problem is a lot of people on social media these days seems to forget that. And not everybody's going to see things from your point of view, and that is perfectly fine. I have been saying for a long time now that She Hulk was actually good. Very few people want to agree with me on that. Well, I'm sorry. Same thing with Book of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Those shows were fantastic. A lot of people want to diss on them, and that's fine. That's their perfect right. That's why we have our channels to give our viewpoints away. I love them, and I'm loving Andor. Anybody out there watching Andor? I really hope so, because Andor is awesome. It is a great, great, great show. First Blood is also a Christmas movie. Nah, sorry, I can't give you that one. Die Hard, Gremlins are Christmas movies. I can almost go with Gremlins, because with Gremlins, at least, Gizmo was a present. So that barely tips it in that favor. But Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. This takes place at Christmas. There just happens to be decorations around, but that really doesn't mean anything. Sorry, just my opinion, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree. But Gremlins, I'll give people Gremlins, because that's very, very close. It's good enough in my book. Plus, it's a little lighthearted, and it's kind of touchy feely. Some people will say that about Die Hard, but little too much of an action adventure in my book. Chris P. Oh, first of all, welcome, Chris P. Nice to have you here. First Blood does take place at Christmas. There's a Christmas tree in the background of one of the scenes. Oh, well, some people have different standards, and that's fine. Some people will say it's a Christmas movie. I don't agree. And that's fine. You know what? If Chris P were here, I'd shake his hand and offer him a drink. We can get along, guys. Don't have to cut people out of our lives because we disagree on TV shows and movies. That's kind of the way I think, but we all don't think that way, and that's fine. Everybody needs to live their own lives. Yeah, I was thinking about Christmas today. I'm in the market for a new Christmas tree. I was looking at artificial trees last night, looking for something about 4.5 pre-lit. Uh, I don't have a lot of space, so I'm going 4.5 is going to be my limit. Maybe a barely 5, kind of 6 would be a little too much. I like it kind of on a table where I can get to it. But yeah, this Christmas is going to be weird. In fact, this whole holiday season, gonna be the first one without my mom. Gonna be gonna be weird. I'm okay now, but I don't know what I'm gonna be like Thanksgiving morning and day, and then of course rolling into Christmas. It's gonna be really different. But I'm hoping I have some friends visit and hang around with. Been a tough time with gas prices and stuff, but we'll see what happens. Crispy, I'd love to shake your hand one day and have a drink with you, Big Al. Yeah, that'd be cool. We could do it virtually right now. I am mentally shaking Crispy's hand. Hoping everything is going all right, Crispy. I know, you know, just be good to sit down and chat with a lot of friends out there. That's why I call my rewatches films with friends. Even though you can't be here, I like the concept of all my friends getting together and sitting around and watching a movie and kind of talking through it, about it, or even about something else, depending on whatever comes up in the conversation. Used to love to do that, especially where with my college friends, and they'd come over and we'd all sit and watch several different films. And for some reason, I remember Conan the Destroyer and Yellowbeard being in high rotation. It seemed we were always watching those. I'm going to pull out Yellowbeard in 2023, I think. Anybody remember Yellowbeard? Uh, Fun film, had a lot of the Python people and Cheech and Chong and Peter Boyle. God, a real fun film. Hi, Kay Landers. Thanks for dropping by and seeing what was going on. Uh, but yeah, I think I'll bring out Yellowbeard in 2023. Not quite sure what any of the other rewatches are going to be. I'm kind of in the planning stages of my head, kind of what I want to do in the months. Everybody knows I like to do theme months with my rewatches, so I'll see what I come up with between now and then. But I'm good through the end of the year. I got bored like one day and literally filled out the year, except for November. But then I eventually decided to do Willow and Legend for November. Yeah, Yellowbeard is great. A lot of fun. Graham Chapman just playing the pirate Yellowbeard, just absolutely fantastic. They'll have to kill me before I die. Professor Rape, Professor Death, Professor Anthrax. It's one of those films. It's just endlessly quotable for those in the know, much like a lot of Monty Python type films or just wacky comedies from the 80s can be. Uh, but like I said, just wanted to get on here and just kind of see what everybody was up to and see if anybody has any film suggestions. In fact, oh wait, Kay Lair say John Cleese didn't like it. Can't imagine why. Well, John Cleese is a he kind of goes back and forth on things. He has a certain way. Uh, like a lot of comedians, like Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase kind of runs hot and cold sometimes. Uh, he's the he's one of the few actors I've actually heard personally from another actor that he was an asshole. I'm not going to say who that actress or actor was, but it was someone who did a film with him, Spies Like Us. He said he was a butthead, which I think is kind of fun. But yeah, I mentioned my rewatches. Like I said, I'm still wanting to do some of the odd Friday night rewatches. Always looking for someone to rewatch them with me. No one's really approached me about that. And Friday night's an off night for a lot of people. Uh, I got lucky last week. I had Wolf 10 Media join me. We watched Rodan, the classic 1956 kaiju film. Had a great time with Wolfie. Daniel wanted to join us, but Friday, Saturday, Sunday are busy days at the Birdman's in the Birdman's world, so he really wasn't able to join me. Um, am I open to do one tonight? Possibly. I don't know. Uh, I've been wanting to do Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. If I don't do it tonight, maybe next week. If anybody wants to join me for it, I would like it. Probably a little late to plan it now. I'd like to at least give a few days notice that I'm going to do it. So if anybody out there in Big Al Land, any of my Al pals want to join me for Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, if you have a copy or you know where to stream it, I'm not quite sure where it's streaming, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere. Uh, Let me know. I have a fun time watching it. I love Pride and Prejudice, the story. I'm a Jane Austen fan. I don't know if how many people know that about me. Pride and Prejudice, Sense Sensibility, Emma, those kind of films. I love those period pieces. Really got into Bridgerton on Netflix. I just love that Regency uh, country, English country folk kind of thing. Um, Oh, Dan, he's been like a father to me. Yellowbeard, you mean he beat you, kicked you, and smashed you in the teeth? No, he's been kind, gentle. What kind of a father is that? Yeah, God, I love Yellowbeard. Yep, Yellowbeard's going to happen early 2023 if I don't beat myself to the punch. Just watch it by myself one day. Uh, but yeah, have to experience that Yellowbeard again. But yeah, any suggestions of any movies out there for 2023? Even possible, um, or even possible month topics. Like I said, this year or the past few years, I had a back to school month where where I did uh, Grease and Friday the 13th and something else. I had a 80s sex comedy month last month, things like that. And like I said, this month is Animal Attacks fantasy for next month. So yeah, any ideas? It also help if it's an alliteration with the month. Like I've had Monster March, going ape in August. That's just the way I roll. Uh, Yellowbeard in 2023. My instincts say hard pass. No, going to be watching the film in 2023. It's not going to be a new film. It's going to be rewatching the the classic comedy from I don't catch me on what year. I could look it up. I'll look it up later. But yeah, I'm gonna rewatch Kaylanders. No, I'm not talking about remaking it. God, please don't remake Yellowbeard. It's fine the way it is. Haven't we learned from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Come on, that was a big enough disappointment. Put anybody to remake classic uh, favorite films from my youth. That was a disaster. Could have been good. Could have been good. But I mean, right off the bat, I love Johnny Depp. I just didn't like his interpretation of the character. That's me. But of course, they are doing a prequel with Timothy Chalamet, seeing how Wonka came to, I guess, get the chocolate factory or somehow. Not looking forward to that. I think he was a much better Paul Atreides than I thought he was going to be. Not quite sure about him in Wonka, so we'll see about that. See, this is the free flow of thought I love to have during these afternoons with Al. I just kind of let it roll off of my head. Um, but yeah, anybody out there, like you said, you all, if you heard me earlier, or if you hadn't, by the time you joined me, I've got my review of Black Adam up. Anybody out there planning to see that movie or may have seen it already, I'd love to know what you thought. Hope you go by my channel, check out my review. The short version, 2 stars, could have been much better. Uh, I had some issues with it, so that's the short version. If you want to listen to my longer, drawn out ramblings about Black Adam, please go to my channel about it. Things I'm looking forward to coming up. Like I mentioned, Willow's going to be coming out. I'm going to be looking forward to watching that. Still very much enjoying Andor, enjoying that. Looking forward to finally the Mandalorian season 3 dropping next year. Ah, God, it's a glorious time. Now, everyone knows I and the professor very close, very friendly with each other. He is my best buddy. Uh, we disagree on some of these shows, which is fine. He understands where I come from. I understand where he comes from. Don't have to worry about it. I'm looking forward to new Star Wars stuff. Not quite sure. Crispy is thinking about seeing Black Adam. Uh, if I do, probably not for a few weeks. Yeah, it's pretty typical DCEU. It got that kind of darker look to it, plasticky kind of thing. I'm not going to go in too much. If you want to know what I thought, you can check out my review on it. Kaylander's the Johnny Depp Chocolate Factory. Let me do a show here. I usually don't do this. Johnny Depp Chocolate Factory is one of the is the only what is the only one I've seen and thought it was okay. Well, if you haven't seen the original Willy Wonka, that's probably why you thought it was okay. Now, I will say Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is a film of its time, the early 70s. But for me, that was magical when I was a kid. The new one, I just didn't like the characterization. Like I said, I'm used to Gene Wilder. He was my Willy Wonka, much like Tom Baker is my doctor uh, of the old school. The new school, if anybody's wondering, it's Matt Smith. Love Matt Smith. Oh, I haven't even talked about House of the Dragon. Loving House of the Dragon. But yeah, Willy Wonka should never be remade in my book. I think the original is almost perfect. Maybe retooling of some special. No, they don't need to retool any special effects. It is 100% fine the way it is. Uh, Still perfectly watchable. Still to this day. In fact, I think I did a rewatch on it not that long ago. Um, well, relatively not that long ago, but had a good time with that. But yeah, anybody out there watching House of the Dragon? I didn't do Rings of Power because I that's one of the ones I just wasn't really willing to go there. Heard very mixed things about it. I've heard some people really like it, some people don't. Not ready to visit that show at this time. Maybe one day, I don't know. House of the Dragon, I've been enjoying immensely. Matt Smith, I've always liked Matt Smith from the Doctor Who days. He quite frankly was the only good thing about Morbius in my book. But yeah, he's I really really a good show. Hard to like anybody in it though. It's kind of finding someone to root for. It's difficult sometimes. Political machinations and all that kind of thing. People trying to seize the throne for themselves. Still very much a Game of Thrones on that show. But I like it very much. I think its season finale is this weekend, so I'll have to see how that plays out. Looking forward to that. I'm kind of sad She-Hulk is over. Uh, like I said earlier, I'm kind of looking, kind of figuring out something to watch. Guys, still got Andor on Wednesdays. But I'm about to lose House of the Dragon, lost She-Hulk. So I'm kind of looking forward to when Willow starts. That'll be nice to enter that universe again. Like Willow a lot, like like Warwick Davis. We're looking forward to see what they bring that universe. I know a lot of people are already hesitant about it because there's already stuff out there, books that were written that furthered the universe. Plus, it's being done by you know Disney, so I think people are a little wary of that. A lot of people are not happy with Disney right now, and that's up to you. I take things as they come. I take show by show, movie by movie. Um, I'm not wiping out Disney or the Star Wars universe because I didn't like the sequels. That's just me. If I want suggestions for rewatches, Dragonheart. Oh, that's good. Gargoyles, Father Ted, um, Black Books, Faulty Towers, Samurai Jack. Oh, oh yeah, you're going on into TV shows. I'm thinking more. Ooh, Blackadder, Mr. Bean. Yeah, those would be fun. Um, it's kind of harder to do a show where I kind of have to keep going. I'm kind of experimenting with that with Robin of Sherwood, the Robin Hood series. Aged Boomer, myself, we're going to be watching that. Maybe like we were thinking, maybe once a month on a Friday night, about 7 o'clock before he does Troy's show at 10. However, I don't know if Boomer is going to hear this or listening. Boomer, I hope you're doing all right. Boomer was affected by Hurricane Ian. His house was messed up. He is still trying to deal with all those after effects. God bless you, my friend. Cannot wait to have you back on the air, um, full strength. I know you did a show the other night from wherever you were at. I missed it because I sadly was asleep. I fell asleep early that night. But looking forward to when he's back in action and start rewatching Robin of Sherwood again. But yeah, maybe picking a series and looking through that one. Um, something like, well, something like a Faulty Towers. That's 12 episodes total. Could be fun. Dragonheart, good film. Definitely, maybe I'll pull. Definitely, probably Dragonheart will be one. Did Dragon Slayer? Well, you know what? I didn't do Dragon Slayer. I did that with the prof. Maybe I will pull out Dragon Slayer and Dragonheart and have a Dragon Month. Hey, there we go. 1 month already taken care of for 2023. Kate Landers hasn't been interested in anything Game of Thrones since the mess of the 8th season and Rings of Power. I will absolutely be indifferent because, to quote Razor Fist, the opposite of love isn't hate. Okay. Um, yeah, I never watched Game of Thrones when it was out. I've seen reactions to Game of Thrones. I agree that they screwed up the last season. It just seemed like we have to end it. Let's just end it. Let's just do this. No thought was given it. No payoffs. The quality lacked. I will say though, I'm enjoying House of Dragons. It takes place 150 years or 200 years or something like that before Daenerys Targaryen. It is the Targaryens, and the guy playing King Viserys, Paddy Considine, what a job he did. God, he was fantastic in that role. Man, just heart wrenching. One criticism: too many time jumps. It's like one episode, and then suddenly next episode 6 years later, and then the next one is 10 years later. It's weird that way. But I've been enjoying the writing, the imagery, the intrigue, and characters and the actors playing those characters. Yeah, it's indifference, and some get like that. They just that's kind of where I'm at with the DCEU. I'm just indifferent about it. Anytime something with Superman or Batman comes out now, I'm kind of like, whatever. I watched Black Adam 1 because I like The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He is one of my favorite actors right now. I love Hawkman. Hawkman's always been a favorite superhero of mine, and so I was interested to see how they were done. And two, I have a YouTube channel. I like to give it content. I know Black Adam is something people would be interested in. So that's why I kind of did it. Yeah, avoiding Ring of Power. I agree. That's why I'm avoiding Agent Boomer in the house, my friend. So good to hear from you. I'm glad you're doing better. Um, I heard you got hit pretty hard, and I'm just glad you're okay. And God bless you, man. You've been in my prayers. It's good to hear from you. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, Rings of Power. I avoided that because I have too much respect for Tolkien and the Silmarillion. I saw some of what they were doing as far as some stuff on YouTube and reactors and things like that. And I read a few articles about some stuff, and I'm like, what a fuh? What a fuh? Like, really? Come on. Uh, nah, this kind of bizarre. Uh, but maybe one day when I'm absolutely out of stuff to watch, maybe I'll give it a chance just to kind of see it. It's what, 6 or 8 episodes, which I could kill it in a day. Uh, yeah, it's an option. Um, but yeah, but I'm not going to dissuade anybody from watching it. If somebody actually out there really wants to watch it, they may really enjoy it. Good on them. That's what I always say. At the end of most of my videos, my reviews, I was like, whatever you decide to watch, be it what I just talked about or not, I hope you enjoy it. That's the point of it. That's why we watch what we watch, in the pure hopes of enjoying it. I wanted to enjoy Black Adam. I enjoyed parts of it, but too much of it I did not. So yeah, it goes that way. Kaylander, should geek culture have remained niche, or is there a way it could be mainstream without being screwed up? I've been thinking about this and wonder what I think. Um, well, that is really going to depend on the saying geek culture. Uh, I think that's bigger than most people think about. When you have so many varying franchises, films, sub genres within geekdom, because you have sci-fi, fantasy, horror, anime, uh, every I mean, there, and then brackets subsection within that. I don't think it needs to remain niche. I think a creator should go out of their way to do the best product they can. Um, Even if you're a guy with an iPhone and $2,000 in his pocket and wants to make a sci-fi film or a found footage horror film, do the best job you can. There's an audience out there for it. I was going through some horror films a couple days ago, and there's some things that sound interesting, and then I see the I see the trailer for it, and it literally looks like it was done on somebody's iPhone, with whoever happened to be standing close by, and they said, "Here, say these lines." I mean, yeah, I mean, but there's some good concepts out there. Hope I'm answering this to what you were talking about. Um, yeah, I mean, I think everything's going to be mainstream. Sci-fi and geek product is a genre out there, and it's going to be cyclical, just like almost everything else. We've had westerns, uh, action adventure was big, the Raiders kind of stuff. Then you get comedy, and that has an upswing in culture. It was inevitable that sci-fi would find its way. I mean, it started with Star Wars really, and it shot up in the early '80s. Kind of trimmed out a little bit, and it's always been there. Yeah, I think geek culture is mainstream. It's going to remain that. I think it's part of its. It's like saying our westerns niche. Uh, really depends on, there could be a western that comes out, and suddenly everybody wants to see a western because this one was really good. Uh, I'm trying to think of one right now that came out. Just not coming in my head. Uh, but yeah, I don't think there's a problem with sci-fi being niche. There's something for everybody. And like I said, not everybody's going to like everything. I don't like some aspects of geek culture. When I say that, I mean there's certain genres I don't do. Uh, I think saying don't like is not the right term. There are just some that I prefer over others. I've seen some anime I really like, but it's just not my thing. And some others, that is their thing. They do the deep dive into anime. Good on them. They're enjoying it. They have a good time. I I went through an anime phase. It's when I did um oh god, I can't think of what it was called now. Um the I'll think of it later. But yeah, there was a couple of I watched Evangelion and ah, quick, someone help me. The one where the guy, the power over the elements and they had the chimeras. Uh, I can't think of the title. Uh, uh, I'm driving myself crazy now. The two brothers, one of them is in a suit of armor. It's not my, and I can't get My Hero Academia out of my head. And I know that's not it. Full Metal Alchemist. That's it. Came to me. Full Metal Alchemist. Really loved Full Metal Alchemist. Uh, but I know it's not for everybody. Just like your sci-fi is not for everybody, your fantasy is not for everybody. But it's all part of geek culture. Superheroes isn't for everybody. Um, I like found footage horror films, which is a subculture of a subculture, subgenre of a subgenre. It's just something I really kind of enjoy. I've seen very good ones, and I've seen some really bad ones. And sometimes the bad ones can definitely be fun in their own right. One of the things I like to talk about is Ouija Shark. I saw this film Ouija Shark. I mean, the title alone drew me to it. And it's a terrible film, but it was a fun hour and a half I had watching it because I laughed my butt off. But it is a bad, bad, bad film, but a lot of fun. Do I think geek culture would have avoided being woke if it had remained niche? Uh, no. I think the woke culture is pervaded so much, uh, and and I don't blame. It's the creators. If someone's creating something, it's their decision to be woke in it. Uh, I don't think everyone not everything is woke, and that's fine. It's up to the creators, and I'm sure the studios have it. Black Adam has some cultural machinations going on. There was race swapping of two of the characters, Cyclone and of course Hawkman. I will say I don't think it hurt those characters that much, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense to race swap a character. Uh, it would be so much simpler if someone wanted to have something represented for their people, do something towards them. Uh, don't expect just to swap out the race thing and make everything better, or don't turn characters gay that were never gay before because you know social messaging representation. No, create something. And I'm going to use this example. It's the comedy that just came out not that long ago called Bros. It's a romantic comedy with two gay guys. Good on you. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you want to have that representation, create a romantic comedy about it. But don't remake Romeo and Juliet and make it Romeo and Julio. Don't mess with the classics. Create stuff in its own right and let it be at that. Oh, phenomenal point. Oh, thank you. See, I can make some points when when I can. But yeah, it's like the race swapping. It's the easiest to talk about because it's the most obvious usually. Uh, it'd be like saying, okay, bring in uh, a, a big white bodybuilder to play Luke Cage. You can't do that. Luke Cage is black. And he should be played by a black guy, preferably Michael Coulter, who played him in the Netflix series, because I thought he did a great job with that. So yeah, you don't need to do that. They turned well, the film Snake Eyes, they made Snake Eyes, who was supposed to be a white character, made him Asian for some ungodly dumb reason. Let's see what Kaylanders, instead of making a historical series of the Viking era with a black woman as a white male Viking named Jarl, make a movie or a show about African history or mythology. We like other cultures and myths. Abso-freaking-lutely. I love period pieces. I love historical pieces. And yeah, you're right about that. I remember seeing that and I was like, really? You know, that's not necessary. Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, historical fact, you just cannot change it, no matter how much you paint over it. Now, I will say Bridgerton, which is kind of played with that because they have Queen Charlotte, but at least Charlotte was historically thought to have African descent, black descent. I'm perfectly fine with that. That could have actually been 100% realistic. So I am not worried about that. Plus, like I said, Bridgerton is its own thing. It's not based on something historical. But you know, you're right. They've got that what do they call it? The Woman King film that's out. It's about but a society of females that were warriors and stuff. Yeah, do more films like that. I think that'd be interesting. Although I did hear that those people like actually helped the slave trade, but they aren't mentioning that really in the promotion. Uh, oopsie, but I'm not. Embrace it. It happened. Deal with it. Uh, like I said, you do a show about, uh, let's say, the Middle East. You're going to have those Middle Eastern descent play those parts. I'm fine with that. I wasn't, when they had Scarlett Johansson playing uh, the part in the Japanese anime live action thing that I cannot recall. It didn't. It didn't go over too well. I could see why. Although the anime is usually done in a way that it's supposed to be nondescript, I think. But there are some things that are a little more obvious than not. Um, let's see. Is that making historical? Okay, wait. Let me get clear. With voice acting and motion capture, I don't care what the actor looks like as long as they sound and move like the character. The animators will take care of the character design. And when I say African history, I don't mean the Woman King. That is a lie. Yeah, I heard that does a lot of that. They kind of had to morph a little bit, but I'm saying something like that. Shaka Zulu. I remember that was a big series. I never saw it, but something like that. There's a lot of stories, myths. I would love to hear more, and I'm sure they're out there in the whole Indian cinematic, but like I'm talking India, like the India, not Indian, like Native American Indian, but like Indian myths and history and things like that. That's actually one of the things I enjoyed about Ms. Marvel when it was on. I like that they kind of delved into that culture, and I was cool with that. I thought it was very enjoyable. Now I don't know how that translated with the comics, but I thought it was quite well done. Uh, Japanese people were asked what they thought, and they were okay with it. Yeah, most people in the actual um, culture are usually fine. It's usually everyone else trying to be upset for other cultures. I was watching a guy doing he was dressing up in like a big sombrero with a fake mustache and a poncho, asking people if they thought it was offensive. And all these white people said, yeah, it's offensive. And then he went into the Mexican Latino area and they were like, oh, that's cool. That's fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Hello, don't be offended for another culture if they're not offended. It drives me crazy. And that's why now I have the Washington Commanders and not the Washington Redskins to root for. Not that it's making a big deal, a difference in their performance, but yeah, I thought that whole thing, work with the culture to at least bring some understanding. When I worked at high school, we were the Braves, and in fact, the school was named after a local tribe. That's where the name of that school came from. And the representation of the Native American imagery we used were authentic representations of that tribe. What a great way to educate people on what's going on when actually instead of suffocating it and hiding it away, talk about it. It's not gonna it's not gonna hurt anybody if you're halfway sensible about it. But can't believe you can't have everything. Someone's always going to be offended about something. It's ridiculous sometimes, sadly. Uh, if they're not offended, shut the f up. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if something is 100% offensive, I mean, yeah. I mean, there are lines you should not, or cannot cross. Um, Tarai Dow saying cultural appropriation is dumb. Humanity's been mixing cultures forever. Whatever successful gets replicated, whatever else fails and disappears. You're right. So if I am an American male, can I not go to a Greek restaurant or a Spanish restaurant or a Mexican restaurant or an African American restaurant or anything like that? Am I appropriating their culture by enjoying their food? No. I am enjoying the diversity of mankind. I am embracing it. There is a difference between offensively stereotyping another culture and showing your interest and appreciation for that culture. Exactly. And I will say, like, I'll say it. Now, there are some things like I said, there's some things you shouldn't do and maybe wouldn't be the best thing. Like, I don't know if me wearing a dashiki would be a good idea, although they look darn comfortable. Uh, yeah, that could be right on a line there. But something that's so totally over the line, blackface. Okay, that's where we're getting offensive at. And I love how everybody comes out against that, and then people go back and then they find examples when a certain celebrity was doing that. Jimmy Fallon. I love it when they catch celebrities being stupid. Uh, they deserve as much lambasting as they can get. In my thing, because they come off all high and mighty, hoity-toity, talking down to normal folk like me, trying to make me feel bad about something, and there's a picture of Jimmy Fallon in blackface. Shut up. Um, so yeah, don't play dumb. We all make mistakes. We all say things that may not be the best thing to say, but a lot of the time it's the intent. Don't don't jump down someone's throat if they're not malicious or attempting to be malicious or condescending. Some people may not know better, or they say something or wear something. Like I know people were getting upset with people who were wearing dreads and like the Rastafarian gear, and they weren't Rastafarian people. Chill out. They're not doing it to be offensive, and a lot of people kind of jump into that and start shouting racist, sexist, or whateverist, Everest. But yeah, people just need to chill. The morals from Hollywood we should follow is the moral lessons from the characters in their movies and shows that I wish most of them followed too. Some of them do not at all, sadly. You're right, Kay Landers. They're double faced, just like a lot of other people are. Uh, we're not thought police, though. I'm not going to, uh, everybody is like, we have to fight, and it's just like racism. Yeah, racism is terrible, but I'm not going to condemn people for the thought process. People can think whatever they want. You just can't act maliciously on it. But, like I said, there's going to be some people out there that like Disney. No matter how much you hate Disney, some people out there are going to like it. And this is just going to be the way they think. I, I know that's a dumb metaphor, but I was just trying to bring a little levity into the situation. Um, but yeah, yeah, I'll give it about an hour here. I'm almost at the end here, unless anybody has anything else they would like to share or ask or bring up. Once more, I'll reiterate: anybody who wants to do a rewatch with me on any night, let me know. Contact me. I'm on Instagram at Big Albosky1. I'm on Twitter at Big_Albosky. And I think all my stuff, well, it may not be in this subject line, but in some of my other videos, there's some stuff. I'm on Facebook, of course, Al Sievertson. Look me up. But yeah, I'm always willing to, talk, chat, watch a movie. Let me know. Like I said, oh, that's Kay Layers. Say the N word. I'm confused. I'm not sure what to feel. Uh, yeah, you're right. I hear that word. I don't use that word. I don't like the word. And I do, if someone, say, who is 25 years old, white guy, in public, calls someone that's 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 not good. But you know what? It is America. We do have free speech. You cannot like it. It could be offensive to you, but it isn't. If it's not aggressive, if it's some people are trying to say hate speech. You know, that- hate speech is kind of a weird thing, and I do believe in free speech, and someone could say they hate me or whatever. That's as long as nobody's taking a swing at me or doing something to actively make my life terrible or take things from me or inflict physical damage. That's one thing. But yeah, I mean, the N word is dumb. I hear like an older person say it, someone in their 80s, just in passing. A little more, some people are just born in a different time, but I mean, I think anybody under the age of 60 or 70 should realize that is a bad word. And it's just not good to say that word. I thought the Sun Wukong post journey to the West being part of a superhero team, but after that story, he reached Buddhahood and basically does everything. So maybe he would be more suitable as an advisor or something. Um, okay, I'm not sure really where you're going on that one. Maybe it's just I'm not quite sure the reference to it. The Sun Wokun post journey to the West being part of a superhero team. I don't know, but yeah, cultural differences are okay. Cultural appropriation, case by case. Yeah, some bad. Yeah, but there are bad words out there. N word is not a good one. Don't say it. Um, but if someone does say it, I don't think they should be arrested or anything. It's like somebody. So if someone calls me fat, do they get arrested? Can evoke the same feeling. So everyone's going to have a trigger word. It's just that the N one is a pretty big one. So yeah, hope I made sense with that. Um, the Monkey King of Chinese myth. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't really know. I've heard of the Monkey King. I really don't know that much about the Monkey King though. Maybe someone being given, I guess the Monkey King's powers and spirit. Well, okay. Um, but yeah, I mean, I do believe in trying to get along together, but still being allowed to do what you want as long as you don't hurt anybody. It's an old for my witch friends out there or the Wiccans, um, or there's some other they have the old saying, "Do what you will, but hurt no one." Sounds good. A bad thing. Of course, I'm Catholic. We love one another as you would have as you would or treat. God, can't my brain's starting to fry right now. Basically, treat others as you would have them treat you. Hey man, can't we all get along? Same kind of different. Uh, it's just easy. Don't have to insult people. Don't have to talk down to people. Don't have to agree with everybody, and they don't have to agree with you. That's perfectly fine. Your best friend can disagree with half the stuff you watch and how you watch it. That's fine. we're all one big happy family as long as we all have different TVs and streaming devices. We could be perfectly fine. Um, but yeah, I think I'm going to call it there. Just touch over a few things again. Not sure if anything's going to be happening on my channel tonight. I do know Troy I believe, has a show tonight at 10 o'clock. You can check him out. Tomorrow, of course, please join me on my channel, Big Al Presents. We're going to be watching Piranha from 1978. Um, Sunday night, join Aged Boomer and Troy on Geeky Geezers. If there is an update, we'll let you know tomorrow on my show if there's anything going on with that. On Monday, Sam Engraver will probably have her show around 9:30. I'm not quite sure what she'll be talking about. Also Monday, I believe the Birdman is going to have his Batman show in the afternoon. Uh, Always a great time. It's a soundtrack discussion thing if you'd only change the name of it, but they've kind of settled on the Batman show for now. Tuesday, don't know anything on Tuesday right now. Wednesday, on Soundtrack with Birdman, sometime that night, we're going to be watching the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds film, talking about the score and just enjoying the film. Thursday, not quite sure. And that just leads it to next Friday. And of course, Troy. And then the following, that Saturday, we'll be back on Netter's channel for the rewatch. The Halloween rewatch for that channel is going to be Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Freddy Krueger uh, film. So gonna have fun with doing that one. So hope to see you guys for Piranha tomorrow night. Kyle Collins is dumb is his trigger word. Yeah, some people don't like to be called dumb or don't like to hear the word dumb. Uh, Kaylander. Oh, I'm glad you said Fan Man. Fan Man is taking a break with streaming and the prof stream. I never reach live due to time zone. It's nice to be talking with you. Thank you, Kaylanders. The Fan Man is back on board, doing some streaming. Well, not so much streaming. He's doing videos. Check out his channel on YouTube. He has been dropping uh, a Superman Lives podcast, though I will say he took that Black Adam cameo very hard because it's a sign that DC doesn't know what they're doing with Superman. Uh, he also has done a couple of mask reviews, which are really cool. So check out the Fan Man. The Fan Man is back um, doing some stuff that's really good. Uh, Professor Geek has been taking a break because he's been doing the teaching thing, but I'm sure he'll get back on board. I know he's going to be having a stream on Halloween night. Him and Sound Engraver are going to be doing a Halloween show, which should be a lot of fun. So keep an eye out for that. Should be a lot of fun coming up here. Of course, with the this time of the year, got a lot of great movies out there to watch. Some classic horror stuff. Check out my Iconic Universal Monsters channel. I'm always posting art and posters and trailers and stills and sometimes toys and magazine covers, anything dealing with the Universal monsters and horror and some of their sci-fi product too, like the Metaluna Mutant, who the Fan Man, not the Fan Man, but the Birdman, Daniel Herron has become quite a fan of the Metaluna Mutant. He calls him the big brain guy. Uh, so I have a lot of fun with that. The Prof's teachings, the next generation of great writers. Yeah, he's going to try to get back into doing more. I do know he wants to get back to doing more for his Catholic Bible Geek channel. He's just been involved in a lot of personal stuff lately and work life. It's just been hitting him a lot. So he's working on it. He kind of had to take a little bit of a break to get some stuff going again, especially with teaching happened back on board. So yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of glad I did this little show today. Glad I got to chat with everybody. I'm glad people showed up. People showed up and were listening in. Had a nice little number there for a while. But people always some kind of not bad for 5 minutes notice when I decided to go on. So I hope everyone has a beautiful rest of their Friday and a great weekend ahead. Lots of great horror movies on television. And today, my friends, I forgot all about it to just gush about it. Today is the first day of Hallmark holiday movies. It's back, baby. 24/7 holiday Christmas films. Time of the year is so beautiful. I love this time of the year. Hallmark Christmas movies, Halloween. Yes, love it. Uh, I know it's silly, but I love it so. So I hope everyone out there has a great Halloween week coming up. Take care, everyone. Th- Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Chris P. Yeah, I'm going to try to do these more, but it's really a matter of when I just everything just kind of comes together. And today they did. I'm glad it did. So yeah, just keep an eye on my channel. I'll keep doing reviews and um rewatches. And like I said, if you want to do one, get in contact. If you have any ideas, send me messages. Just let me know. And I'll take them to heart or give them a thought. We'll see. Take care, everyone. All my owl pals, you guys are awesome. Love you all. Goodbye.